okay, so we're talking like 30,000 feet, right? Let's get down to sea level. We're in Colorado, so that's hard for us, but let's get down to sea level. So great, you sold me on the audiences. You sold me on the flexibility. You sold me on the decisioning, right? We got the commercials worked out from a contract perspective. Okay, where does every project like this get hung up? I got to go to IT. IT, now you got to dev this, you got to dev that. Wunderkind's great. I got to get in their roadmap. That's going to take months. I got to get in Wunderkind's roadmap. That's going to take months. So, Tim, talk to me about, for the folks that are thinking, this is going to take forever, for the folks that have heard, oh yeah, Wunderkind's hard to implement, it's going to take months and months, got to get in the IT roadmap, heavy lift. What would you say to that?
Look, Jinx, totally hear you on that, okay? First off, implementation was fairly cumbersome for us in the past. Now remember, I said this, maybe people didn't see the earlier answer when you asked a tough question. We were an agency that cobbled together some really good technology that provided a lot of value, right? It identified and increased your reach, and it provided incremental revenue, and we could guarantee that revenue. We did it on our own though. So, implementation did take a while, but the value was there. Recently, we launched our Build framework. Build is basically a connection to our platform. Think of it as a connector pin of multiple ways you can connect to us, right? We've all traveled the globe, or if you've traveled the globe, there's different outlets, and you need a 3-prong in the UK, a 2-prong here and there. We basically built that through APIs. We had a recent client that is a giant national US department store that everyone would know. They wanted to test this new framework. Within 2 weeks, they were able to, like a very small dev team on their side, plug it successfully in. They took APIs and a couple of SDKs, and they saw they lift instantly. In fact, we've got another giant car rental company that I can't name, unfortunately, they're just under contract, but giant car rental company, global car rental company, who literally took our APIs from our audience and identity and our personalization, took that into an API into meta ads, and they were able to reduce their spend, I believe, almost 70% and get the same ROI. So, the implementation literally was beta. So this takes weeks, not months. Going API first, taking the time that we took, it took well over a year in the behind the scenes to build a platform so we could actually connect to an intelligent, machine in the way that you needed to. Whether you are, a giant, and I'm just going to throw out names, these aren't necessarily clients, but if you're Walmart, you're huge. If you're Tony's Pizza Place down the street, or, Kate's Flowers with 3 locations in Denver, both of you have wildly disparate, technology needs and access to developers. Walmart and, giant companies probably have hundreds of developers. Tony's Pizza Place has none. So we took that to heart. The platform now has the connectors. Implementation can, and by the way, it can be done by our team, completely white glove service if your team doesn't have dev or the time or et cetera. Or if you just want to take it all, we got API docs, we got an entire repository, we got all of our tokens, everything you need to just go build and dev and tell us when you're ready. So really, really excited that the platform launched in 2025 to be able to do this and kill those long, cumbersome implementation timelines. And if you're one of those clients that left us because of that or didn't do business because of that, please come back, put us to task, put my words to task, and see if we can implement for you in a matter of weeks rather than months.